SEO versus Google Ads, pay-per-click. Welcome to Ben's Business Podcast, episode number 54, and this is the first one of 2019. I took a wee break at Christmas, as some of you may have noticed. I just took last week off and didn't bother doing any on, I think it was Boxing Day, because there was a lot of family and events on around that time. Thanks for joining, Michael. Please do your thing and share it onto Ben's Business Book Club so everyone on Ben's Business Book Club can see this as well. And that's a community of avid readers who read books, entrepreneurs, people who are into self-development and even beyond business, like philosophy, people who love to read lots of books, bookworms. So thanks for joining, Patrick. So today we're talking about basically the pros and cons of SEO, the pros and cons of Google AdWords, Google Ads now. They've just dropped the name Google AdWords. And SEO, search engine optimization, just so we can get that out of the way and I can call it SEO. Search engine optimization is obviously the process of ranking a website and getting it more visibility online through keywords, search terms that customers search on Google to find services and products that you offer. So that's the purpose of search engine optimization. Obviously, those two things combined, the purpose of a search engine itself is actually to organise the world's information. Before search engines were around, that was Google's mission, which they've obviously achieved now. And now, as marketers, are able to use that platform where Google have brought everyone together to find information, search queries, and we can use it we can advertise on it and pay Google, and we can also rank ourselves in the free search results on the local or below the ad, sort of free organic search ranking area. So we can take some free traffic and we can also pay for some. A long time ago, when I first started doing search engine optimization in the free organic search rankings, before I knew how to do pay-per-click advertising, SEO was very easy. I was able to rank sites very easily by buying the right domain name, doing a bit of keyword research, and right there it would only take a couple of weeks. Now it's getting slightly harder. So really, what is the difference between the two of them? Well, one, on Google, when you search for a keyword, for example, you will see a list of 4 adverts or ads down a lot above at the very top, just below the search bar where you search something in, and that gives you the people who are the companies that are advertising in that area. Usually that gives you a good indication, if you're a marketer, to tell if that's a competitive niche when you search for something. So those 4 results that usually show up, if there's not 4 results, then maybe 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. If there's not any ads at all, then that tells you that there might not be like good commercial intent there for people who are searching. So advertisers would tend not to pay to advertise themselves there. And anything below that is free for us to rank our websites up there. And I know how to do that underneath the ads as well as paying for the ads. So I've kind of, like, because things have got a wee bit more difficult to get results for myself and even partners and clients, I've had to learn to do advertising along with the free organic search rankings, also known as search engine optimization, SEO. So it really, for me, I see it as it's like a philosophy or a debate over do you want your business to rank really fast? You can pay for ads straight away. You can actually pay for traffic right now and have quick results today or tomorrow with pay-per-click. But with SEO, obviously, it's a process, it's a campaign. You've got to really think it through. Well, you've got to think through pay-per-click and Google Ads, obviously, as well. You've got to think through how your landing page is going to be set up. But what I mean is that there's a lot of hard work and time that goes into search engine optimization. So what I'll do is, I don't think there's one better than the other. I'll probably conclude it at the end of the video, but I would say you need to do both of them now. You've got to have a wee bit of advertising spend, like where we used to advertise in yellow pages and sort of offline advertising. It's now all come online, and the audience is definitely there on Google. People are searching for products and services that you offer and if you're not there, then your competitors are getting it. So that's the most important thing about search engines and why your business needs to show up there on the first page of Google, because no one looks on the second page of Google, let's be honest, and we need to pick the right search terms that your customers are searching. You can find those search terms out through keyword tools, which I've talked about in previous videos and podcasts. You can also find that out by just listening to your customer, see what words that they use, not the words that you use, not the words you think they should use, but the words that come out of their mouth. So that could be a thing. You could go back through 10 previous customers that you've worked with or current customers, and just ask them what they searched on Google to find you, or make sure that's a process when you get an incoming call from a new prospect customer, that you ask them, what did you search on Google, and make sure you get the exact wording of what they search. So how did you find us? And if they say Google, then what was the search term? And so that's a bit of keyword research. You could do that just in a sort of one-to-one basis with people, and just by asking and getting that data and getting it down on paper, and making sure that you're using those words in your website so that it shows up on those free results. But it's also important to relate with those words that the customers are using and use that in your ads and your Google ads as well. So when we search on Google, we get those search results, and we've got the ads, and then we've got the results below it, which are usually maps, local listings on Google Maps. There's usually 3 results there, so there's 4 ads, 3 results on maps if it's a local search, and then below that is the free organic, just normal listings, and you can go pages and pages back depending on how much searches there are for that. But usually you go 10 pages and further beyond. And most websites that first go live on the internet, the World Wide Web, will end up being indexed automatically by Google, because Google just pick it up from the words that you put inside your website, or that your web developer puts inside that website. And basically it'll pick it up, and Google's clever enough to understand what your website's about. So it'll take that information and it'll put it somewhere in its rankings on page, let's say 4. It'll stick you on page 4 for, if it's a joiner, for joiners in Fife, and they'll go way back to page 4 because there's 4 pages or 3 pages in front of them, joiners whose websites have been alive for longer than them. They've been around for 5 years. This is a new startup company. They've just built a website. They don't know anything about SEO. They'll automatically go back to that page, like a far back page. And what I specialise is in getting them from page 4 or 10 all the way up to page 1, just below the ads. But what I'm recommending now is that we use the Google ads as well as that. So you're basically, you get number 1, page 1 of Google domination. You get all the results. You can show up in the maps and the organic, free, and the ads. And that's a much better approach. And it attacks the problem of the time it takes to get them from page 4 to page 1. That takes some time and hard work on my behalf. Or if I'm teaching someone, a student, it'll take them just as long as me. And that's a bit of a problem. So what I recommend is we actually take some advertising, and we work on getting that up to the front page. So let me just jump into, so that's kind of like the difference between the two. But what I want to do is jump into like the pros and cons of, let's go with Google Ads first. So I've got a wee list here for myself. The pros and cons of, or the pros of Google advertising, Google Ads, pay per click. So you're paying per click. When someone clicks on that ad, it costs that company money if it has an ad next to it. Now, if you're paying to have your website up there, so every time it clicks, it can be £1 a click, it can be £2, and sometimes I've seen it going up to £15 a click in the financial industries, insurance and things like that. So it can be really small, it can be pennies, it can be pounds or dollars. So one of the pros, obviously, the positives about it is that we can build a landing page. I could actually build a landing page today. I can have it live today because I've got templates. I can just fire a website up online right now with my web developer, and I can have it optimized so it converts people who come to it. It converts into someone filling out the form for a lead. So I can get leads through these websites. That's not a problem. I've got that skill. If I want to get some traffic to it now for free, if it's sitting on page 4 of Google because it's just went live, that's a problem. So the pro about Google Ads is I could have that website live today. I could have the Google ad maybe approved by today and have results by tomorrow. Literally tomorrow, I would have these results in, and someone calling that company website that I've just set up, or filling out the form on the website. And that's the great thing about instant traffic when you pay for it. So the best way to get traffic now is to pay for it. You get traffic right now from Google advertising by sending it to your website, and then as long as the website's set up in a way that will get someone to come, a prospect to come to it, and then to take some type of action, which is usually, I recommend grabbing some information like their email, their name, number, and something, or giving them a free download in exchange for an email. And that's what you want to be doing, like the kind of goal of a landing page and sending traffic to a site. But you might have your own goals of why you want traffic to your website. So it could be to get a phone call. It can be to get an email. It can be to get people into your shop or into your restaurant. And in that case, you can set up Google Ads in a way that you show up on the maps as opposed to, and it shows like where your location is in your city. And then another, one of the cons obviously of Google Ads is that you have to pay, and you constantly have to pay to keep it up on that first page. So every time someone clicks, it costs you money, and it eats into your margins because you've got to get a return on your invest. So like when someone clicks and they don't buy, they don't fill out the form, that they just click on your advert on Google, and they don't buy, you've lost some money there. So then you need to gain it back for like the next person who clicks on that ad and they go ahead, and it kind of levels itself out. And it roughly on average is like 50% margins on Google Ads. And that obviously it depends on what industry you're in and how expensive it is for a click, but that's just kind of like an average, is that you're going to lose, like, you're going to get half, and Google are going to get half, and that's what you're kind of spending on advertising. One of the great things about Google Ads is, depending on where your company is and where you are with your mindset and how much you want to grow, you can have your website right up there on the first page of Google today or tomorrow, and you can just scale your business. You can increase the budget and just scale your business off, like up and up, and just keep getting leads firing in. And if it's working and you're getting a good return on invest, you can just turn the budget right up as high as you possibly can and scale your business, like starting today, and explode it. But you have to be ready to take that on, and obviously you have to be ready to have that advertising budget to put in and have a good return on invest. So that takes time to get those figures right and make sure that you're in profit. So you have to have a well set up converting website as well before you send all this traffic. Whereas with SEO, which we'll go into, is you can test things as you go, because it's not costing you money to do that. And when you start getting free traffic, it's a great thing. One of the things about Google Ads, again, like a pro, is that you can rely on it. It's 100% because you're paying a service, you're paying Google themselves, and they can guarantee that you're number one, whereas SEO people cannot guarantee that. Because we rely on the Google algorithm, so we rely on Google, because it's for me, when I charge for my service to rank a website in the free organic search results, when clients pay me to rank them on Google, I rely on Google, because Google, it's a third party. It's just like Facebook's a third party, and Yale was once a third party, and it's still obviously available, but it was used a lot more, and Instagram and all these places. You need to be careful not to rely on one stream of income, one stream of traffic for your website, as in where people are coming to visit your website from. You need to have more options for yourself and how you're going to drive traffic to your site. The one thing about the pros and cons of SEO are, it takes, obviously the con is it takes time. It takes hard work, and it can be slow. It can take 1 year sometimes, and depending on the industry that we're in. If it's a very easy, small niche, like a small market that not many competitors are in, and we can rank that very fast. But when it's in an industry that's competitive, like for example roofing just now is something I'm working on, it's a wee bit more competitive. So we have to make sure that we're in a good easy niche, but it can take a year. That's one of the disadvantages of SEO against Google Ads, is it takes time. But one of the pros of SEO is when it's ranked, it's there forever, and you don't pay for that when it's there. It's in the free organic, and it usually goes from strength to strength, because when you get it there, it's getting traffic, and traffic's a ranking factor. So it really just builds on it and has like a sort of compound effect, and it ages. It's just like wine that gets better with age. So like one of the good things about SEO is it just kind of compounds, and you kind of build in a digital asset, almost like property. So you're building an online property that you own, whereas when you're paying for Google advertising, you don't own that stream of traffic, whereas when you have an SEO built website and you own it, it sits up there and it's got a stream of income. If you sell the business, that's an extra asset for your business and everything like that. So you're kind of building like digital assets for your business if you're doing it for a business. But another part of like 2019, one of my plans is to actually teach this stuff to people who want to set up a similar business to how I've got my own business running myself, through building a lead generation business and selling leads to clients and partners. So that if you're interested in something like that, let me know and send me a direct message, because I'll be setting up probably workshops this year about on teaching that and launching an online course. So another one of the pros of SEO is it's free. It's completely free, and it is there literally forever. And one of the cons is obviously there's a thing called the Google dance, and Google kind of change their mind on what ranking factors. There's like 200 different ranking factors, and if a few of them change, that's called algorithm changes, or how Google's system on how they rank websites changes. It affects me and like SEO people and people who are spending a lot, like business owners. If you learn this stuff, it does affect you, and so that's why it's difficult to rely on just one thing. So one of the pros again of SEO is it's a kind of long-term thinking, whereas Google advertising is more short-term thinking in a way, because you're paying for instant results. Whereas with Google, you're kind of having a delayed effect, but the effect is actually better because then you own that, and it's incoming traffic for a long time. I've got a couple of comments here. Happy New Year, Petrov. So again, it's free, so the margins are high versus Google advertising, where the margins are maybe 50%. And so it's all yours for the taking when you do search engine optimization. It's just slow. It's energy and hard work up front, and there's obviously the algorithm changes every so often, which you just have to keep up to date with these things if it does change. But in a small niche, you're not going to be that affected. It's just being kind of staying up to date with things, and you've got an asset for your business for the long term. It's the same with when you build content. So when I make these videos, it's an asset for my business, because I can send people a link to this video and say I answered that question in this video, or people can find this video because I do SEO to these videos, because I optimize these videos and add keywords to these videos that I do. I download them from Facebook and upload them to YouTube, and add a title tag, add keywords into the video, and it gets found on YouTube, and I get traffic to the videos, and they show up on search results on YouTube as well as Google. I embed them into my blog. I share them, I embed them. So I'm building assets every time I do these videos every week. They get found forever online when people search them, when I use keywords to help people find these videos, and you build a library of things. So it's similar to content marketing in a way. It's content marketing has assets in terms of it helps you rank on Google, but also when you're doing content to help your website rank, you're building this kind of library of information, and it's the same. The more websites I build, the more assets I have. So you can build multiple websites for your company as well. And I have done a video on that about the building multiple niche websites, which is a very clever strategy in search engine optimization. It's cash flow. So it's like, again, it's very similar to being a landlord and owning lots of property online when you own lots of websites online, and it's cash flow and it's an asset, it's consistent passive income. It's one of the closest things that I've done to passive income, like along with like web hosting and property itself. But this is online property. We just own property that doesn't actually have a physical body. It's out in the internet, in the World Wide Web. So that's an interesting way to look at it as well. Is that you're building assets for your company when you build pages onto your website, which are focused on keywords that people search. And the more pages and keywords and search terms that you have built into your website, and the more websites that you have pointing to your company to build the asset for it is a great strategy as well. So I hope that was helpful. That's the difference between Google Ads and SEO, search engine optimization. The pros and cons of SEO, the pros and cons of Google Ads. It's really, again, a debate and a philosophy of what way you want your business to grow and what's more important. But I do recommend any startup business owner or anyone that's trying to drive more traffic to their website that we do both of them. And I say work really hard on your SEO because it's going to affect you it's going to be the best effect long term, because you're not going to have an expense. So you can work hard. It's like work hard on your fortune, or work part-time on your fortune while full-time on your job, and eventually your fortune can become your full-time thing. So then eventually you can drop the cost and the ad cost for Google Ads, but you have to pay for that at first if you want to get some early results. But if you've got a year to wait, or you've got 6 months to wait to get results, then just work on your SEO and save costs if you want to do it that way. So it's really, again, a philosophy and what you think's best for the business, for you, what you're ready to do. Because you can literally pay for traffic and grow your business right now and scale it up as much as your budget will allow. So I hope you found that helpful. I recommend you at least start with a small budget of maybe £50 a month if you're a startup. £50 a month, £100 a month on Google advertising, targeting the keywords that you want to be found for. Make sure you fix your landing page, your website home page, so that it's converted well. Get an SEO expert or a conversion rate optimization expert to explain how the website should be structured. Watch my videos on that, and to convert traffic into sales, and to make sure you get the best return for your spend on advertising, so that when you send people to your website, it converts into people actually filling out a form and not getting confused when they land on your website or a broken site. And then that's what I recommend before you spend any money on pushing traffic to your site. And I recommend you work on a long-term plan for building your SEO every week, and that's where I think we should put the most focus, like 80%, 90% of our focus, because it's the biggest benefit long-term, because it's free and it works long-term, and you can actually cut your costs eventually on advertising altogether. So I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, everyone.